Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Vintage Cube Draft. Well, this is a Pack 1, Pick 1 Ancestral Recall, which is generally a good sign, so we'll be taking that. There's not much blue in this pack, so it's kind of nice to not have to pass a bunch of blue. Passing Counterspell only goes in a few specific blue decks because of double blue color requirements, but Ancestral Recall seems fine to me. So I'll hurry up and take that before I mess it up. Alright, we've got Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, and Ponder. I'm not sure what we're playing yet, because we could play like Storm, we can play a green-blue deck, we can play a whole bunch of stuff. We can play Control, of course. I think I do like Ponder. Having a bunch of 1 blue mana powerful cantrips in a deck is just very good, because it helps you get to your powerful cards very quickly. Obviously, it's a little bit sad to be passing the Esper-colored fetches here, but I will take a Ponder. And I do like Spell Pierce. There's not much blue coming around right now, so somebody else might be in blue. Well, tough luck. We're probably forcing blue at this point. I finally see Dark Depths in a pack. If that comes around, we could be like Dark Depths Control, which would be kind of interesting. I will take a Spell Pierce. Alright, there is a Path to Exile if we want to play Control. There's Coercive Portal, which is just a generally good magic card that we can play in just about any deck. There's Turnabout, though. And I have Ancestral Recall, so I'm kind of feeling like if we can play Mono Blue Storm, we should. There's Inkwell Leviathan if we were to get like a Tinker. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of playing Control in Vintage Cube, simply because I feel like there's so many opportunities to play Control in like Modern Cube and Legacy Cube, and there's a couple of cool things that Control can do in Vintage Cube, but I feel like if we're casting broken spells, we're casting broken spells. We don't need to be, you know, like we can cast Balance and stuff in a Control deck, and that's fun, but okay. I can take a Zealous Conscript, so we could like backdoor into maybe a Splinter Twin combo or a Kiki combo. I don't remember if Kiki was in this pack or not, or was in pack 1 somewhere or not. I've done so many Vintage Cube drafts in recent memory, my memory is a little hazy. I could take Kaito if we want to be like Dimir Control. Eureka would be fine. We could, you know, Eureka out a bunch of huge things. I kind of like Zealous Conscripts because, like, Izzet is a safe place to be if you're doing, like, Snapcaster shenanigans, because you can always, like, Bolt, Snap, Bolt. There's a Tundra if we want to go blue-white. There's an Arid Mesa, which is a nice fetch to have. Lots of fixing going late in this pack, so it doesn't seem like anybody's doing the Omnath thing. Birgi's good if we're doing Storm. I'll take Birgi. There's a Sedgemoor Witch, which is good with just, like, Izzet spell spam. There's a Mana Tithe, which is very trolly. There's General Ferris Rockrick. I guess I'll take a Sedgemoor Witch. I don't know that I'm playing Sedgemoor Witch. There was a 1000-Year Storm in one of these packs, so we'll see if that wheels. I wouldn't mind having a Fire Blast. It's a great way to end the game. Council's Judgment would be great if we were going Control, but I'm not really doing that. There's a 1000-Year Storm. Okay, so we have enough cards that we can build a Storm deck. Even if it's just Blue-Red Storm, which is not one that I've played a lot frequently. There's a Flooded Strand, but we have no duels. Hazaret the Fervent, Omnath, Goblin Bombardment. Goblin Bombardment can be a win condition if you have, what's it called? The Empty the Warrens? I'm not even sure if that's in this. They might have replaced it with Ignite Memories. But I'm not playing Hazaret in this deck, and this is not an Omnath deck. Mountain, Plains, Swamp. Otherwise, there's like Lava Man or Voltaic Visionary. I guess I'll take the Fixing. It's not really a Mutavault or an Elspeth deck, so I guess I'll just take a Mutavault. Take a Nurturing Peatland and a Lion's Sash. I don't think I'm playing any of these. I could play Savai Triome if we end up in Grixis. Okay, Mox Ruby. I'm cool with a Mox Ruby. There's a Time Spiral, though, and a Remand. So, 1000-Year Storm only counts instants and sorceries cast. This would be a good Remand deck, too. I'm sad that Time Spiral's in this pack, but there's no way I'm not taking a Mox. Just the more Power 9 you have in your deck, the better your deck, right? As a Mystical Tutor, we do have Ancestral Recall, so Mystical Tutor is a way to go very positive on cards very quickly. So I think I'll be doing that, hoping to wheel probably an Underworld Breach. If we can get like LED Brainstorm, Underworld Breach is an absolutely powerful win condition. In this pack, if we wanted to go back towards the controlling route, we could take Teferi. There's a Sacred Foundry, Shark Typhoon, Chartacourse, or Dragon's Rage Channeler. I think I like Chartacourse. It is a powerful card. We do have Snapcaster, so it's not like we can't ever get an attack off to draw cards. Phantasmal Image, Miscalc, Creeping Tar Pit, Firebolt. I do like Miscalc. You can always just cycle Miscalc and it's decent. But occasionally it's a mana leak and it's pretty good. So I'm going to take Miscalc. Probably not realistically playing Goblin Bombardment. We may not even actually play Storm. We might just be like, alright, control in the early game, play Thousand Year Storm, cast a few cantrips and 2 burn spells. Like, that could be what we're doing. So, and that would be reasonable. I'm probably not playing Sedgemoor Witch, so I'll put her in the sideboard. We have a very solid set of blue cards here. And really, like, we still have the avenue of going control, because, like, Thousand Year Storm, Fireblast Turnabout are, like, the only cards I wouldn't play in control. Possibly Birgi. Okay, there's a Tolarian Academy, there's a Vendilion Click. I'm gonna take the Click because, like, if I had multiple Moxen, Tolarian Academy becomes insane. But Vendilion Click is a way to either protect a Storm combo or to just, like, have a control threat with Flash, which is good. So I'll take Vendilion Click. There's a Mana Flare, a Thassa's Oracle, and Yawgmoth's Will. I'm gonna take Yawgmoth's Will. If I had Brain Freeze, I would probably take Thassa's Oracle. Mana Flare is good. We do have Turnabout. This is a pseudo High Tide effect. And there is an Underworld Breach going around in this pack, so maybe I pass on Yawgwill for that instead, play a Mana Flare. But, like, somebody could have sniped the Storm win conditions, too. That's a distinct possibility. So I can take Mana Flare if I want to stay red, or I can take Yawgwill. And I think I take Yawgwill because the effect is just so much stronger. There's a Seagate Stormcaller, which can duplicate a Ancestral Recall, but is probably not actually in this deck. I think I'm going to take Memory Deluge, because it is a control-y card. We still could end up doing something like that, so I'll take Memory Deluge. Okay, there's a Dig Through Time, there's a Worn Power Stone, there's a Resto. If we get, like, Kiki, we could do Jeskai. I think Kiki might have been in pack 1. I don't remember. I don't have time to go back and look at the footage. Not a huge fan of Dig Through Time, but, like, if we're Ancestral Recalling and stuff, we might be able to fill the grave relatively quickly, so, like, Dig Through Time could be better. Otherwise, I can take Murktide Regent. I'm not huge on Dig Through Time, but Murktide Regent as, like, an actual aggressive threat, if there's, like, Lightning Bolts and stuff in pack 3, could be really good for us. So I'm going to take the Murktide Regent, but I'm not going to play it in every deck that I'm drafting at the moment, which is multiple. Most likely to play Knight's Whisper out of those cards. I'm guessing I would play Batterskull as a control win condition. Okay, we're only getting Abzan color stuff now. I guess I'll take an Oblivion Ring. Yeah, somebody else is in blue. I'll take a Tolarian Academy. Lightning Helix is another possible Thousand Year Storm win condition, if we end up with some Jeskai stuff. And Exploration. So let's see what we open in the final pack here. We did not get Time Spiral, so I think what happened was when I passed Time Spiral and Remand, I signaled that blue was open. And I think somebody else moved in. And likely somebody else is drafting Storm. Mox Jet, Mana Leak, Tinker. I can take Tinker because I do have a Mox, but I have Tolarian Academy and a Mox already. So I'm probably going to take Mox Jet and maybe even end up playing Tolarian Academy. I'd like this Volcanic Island, but I'm not going to take a... I'm not going to take Fixing over a Mox. So, Mox Jet it is. There's a Simic Signet and a Holy Heat. There's a High Tide. We did miss out on Time Spiral, so it is less good. There's a Frantic Search, which might actually be better. I think I'm going to take High Tide, because I do have Turnabout. We are looking for a... I mean, we want land untappers, so like if we can wheel Frantic Search, that'd be amazing, but I'm not sure we will. Okay, there's a Narset. We have no draw 7s, but Narset is still very good. There's a Shelldock Isle, Celestial Colonnade for blue-white fixing if we want to play Lightning Helix. I think I take Narset because it's just a really good mono-blue card. And it does stuff. It prevents my opponent from casting a draw 7 and profiting, ever. We would really like a Brain Freeze or a Tendrils. That would be super nice. Otherwise, we do have to rely on Thousand Year Storm to actually win, and that does make it a lot harder. There's a Heartbeat of Spring. This is a mana doubler. We have no fixing for Heartbeat at all. We can take K-Command. Thousand Year Storm K-Command is really funny. I really don't want to play Heartbeat, but I will if I have to. I have a Nurturing Peatland to help splash it. Alright. I do have High Tide, though. I could take Regrowth because I have Ancestral Recall or Turnabout. I think if I'm taking one, I'm taking Regrowth and trying to wheel Heartbeat, actually. There's a Cabal Ritual. There's a Dak Faden as well, and an Incinerate. Mountain, Forest, Plains. That doesn't really help us. Dak Faden is good. I think I need a Cabal Ritual more than I need an Incinerate, but Incinerate is way easier to cast than Fire Blast. I'm going to take the Cabal Ritual. There's Baral, and there's Goblin Electromancer in this pack. There's also a Vampiric Tutor. And Vampiric Tutor makes it a lot easier to combo. We're kind of lacking on mana a little bit, so maybe I just take Baral. Alternatively, one of those might wheel, and I could take, like, Wishclaw Talisman or Vampiric Tutor. We saw how powerful Wishclaw Talisman was. I'm going to take Baral. It just seems a little bit easier. So this is Steam Vents and a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is really good. It really fits with this. We have, like, no actual island duels, though. I kind of only need red for Thousand Year Storm and whatever we cast off of Thousand Year Storm. Like, Fire Blast implies that I have to play, like, 2 mountains. Always, and we don't have any Steam Vents or Volcanics. They were opened in this pack, I believe. I'm going to take the Lightning Bolt. Okay, Seething Song is really good. It's really good in this deck because we have a little bit of, like, ritual problems to get to Thousand Year Storm, and Seething Song makes that a lot easier. So I'm going to take the Seething Song. Volcanic Wield? Unbelievable. Okay, yeah, well, we're taking a Volcanic Island. I'm really sad we missed Time Spiral. I guess I can take a Rishadan Port. Probably not playing that. I'll take a random Horizon Canopy. Not playing that either. Heartbeat came around. I'm probably not playing Heartbeat. Incinerate came around. That's actually really big. Wishclaw is good. So we are playing Grixis Storm, which means I am going to play the Savai Triome. And our final card was Academy Ruins. Okay, so we need to build a deck. And I don't know that I'm going to run Tolarian Academy, because Tolarian Academy means I have to have a Mox on board in order to make mana, and I do have 2 Moxes. And yeah, if I have both and Tolarian Academy, it's crazy. But like, I don't know what the odds of that is going to be. So Mox Jet, Mox Ruby, I'm going to probably count one as a land and one as a spell. And then, let's see, I'm probably not playing Fire Blast. I could, but like with Incinerate and Lightning Bolt, the thing about these are I can use one as a burn spell, like for interaction early game, and then use the other to actually win with. So if I wanted to play 16 land, I could play 2 Moxes and 15 lands. I have what amounts to a tapped Blood Crypt and a Volcanic Island for fixing. No fetches, though. I can play Nurturing Peatland instead of a Swamp just so I can cycle it later. And if I wanted to splash like Heartbeat of Spring, I could do it that way. I don't have Manamorphose, which would make that a lot easier of a decision. The problem is I like need Thousand Year Storm to win. Like I have to have it. So maybe that means I play Sedgemoor Witch instead of Zealous Conscripts, because Sedgemoor Witch can like at least make a whole bunch of 1/1s. Yeah, I could see that being a thing that I do. I don't think I can go 4-color with such minimal fixing, especially with no Manamorphose, so... Okay, let's see what our mana looks like here. This wants me to run 2 red sources. I have a Mox, so it's 5 red sources. And we really just need red to win. Like, we have a ton of blue mana. We have High Tide. We have 4 swamps. And a Mox Jet, so 5. Yeah, actually, that looks pretty decent, I think. We have some protection. We have Spell Pierce, Miscalc, Vendilion Click. Yeah, alright, let's do this. I think it's not going to be like Hyper Fast Storm, but we're going to have some pretty powerful setup cards. And we have like Ancestral Recall, 2 Moxes. What can go wrong? This deck is sweet. Let's go. Alrighty. Welcome to round 1. We have a Ponder. We have 2 lands. We have 3 cards we're not casting. I think we can mulligan. Okay, yeah. Volcanic Island, Ponder, Ancestral Recall seems good. I'm going to put back, I think, Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, opponent plays a tapped Steam Vents. We draw a Seething Song. I'm going to Ponder to try and hit a land. Mox Jet is a land-ish. But I don't really want these other cards, so I'm going to shuffle. Okay, this is not working out how I'd hoped. Okay, an opponent plays an island. We draw a Snapcaster Mage, so we're gonna pass and leave up Spell Pierce. Okay, opponent plays a Dark Slick Shores. I will Spell Pierce a Dak Faden. If they have a Daze or a Force, they'll use it on this to resolve their Planeswalker. Okay, they do not. That means we're free to Ancestral Recall for a land. We can play a Mountain and a Mox. We don't have to discard, and now we can cycle Miscalc or Incinerate something if we need to. That's pretty good. Okay, opponent is passing. We untap, we draw an island, which is perfect. So play an island, pass the turn. We have Miscalc, or we can like Snapcaster Spell Pierce. I can Mystical Tutor for something if I want to. Do I want to cycle Miscalc? I think I'm actually going to Vendilion Click on their end step. Because while it's theoretically more powerful on their draw... Okay, opponent has a Miscalc, that's fine. We untap and draw Narset. Let's play a Sedgemoor Witch. Okay. Now I can at least Mystical Tutor for something and make a 1/1. They have to lose at least 3 life to deal with this creature. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a problem. It's Mystical Tutor. Make a Pest. I was gonna say, I don't actually know what I would tutor for, but getting that Spell Pierce out of my opponent's hand is absolutely worth it. Because, I mean, like, this at least gives us a 3/3 flyer, and we can attack. We can also incinerate our own Sedgemoor Witch with Miscalculation backup. So we draw Savai Triome. Let's play that. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Okay, opponent goes down to 14. Incinerate Sedgemoor Witch. We will pay the 3 life. Nice. Alright, and we have a Miscalc. So we're actually, like, this weird control deck with a storm win condition. Alright, Miscalc that Wormcoil Engine. And now opponent's in trouble. Unless they have a Daze. If they have a Daze, we would be very sad. Okay. I'd really like to draw blue mana. Perfect. So play that. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Take our opponent to 10. And let's play Narset. Downtick Narset. Pick up a Mox Ruby. Play Mox Ruby. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest, so they are 4 colors. I really wish I could Snapcaster Miscalc. Opponent gets a Karn. They're going to uptick, so we give them Seething Song. So I can Snapcaster Incinerate on their end step, and then just attack at Karn. Oh wait, they're dead. I can Incinerate them and then attack them for 7. Oh, that's only 6, actually. Isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can take them to 1. I do have Lightning Bolt in the deck, and I've already dug once with Narset. So I think we just go for face damage. We draw a Yogwill, down-tick Narset, and we found a Lightning Bolt. So opponent is dead. Otherwise, we could have, like, Yogwilled, Mystical Tutor, Lightning Bolt, Ancestral Recall to draw it. Well, that was cool. We out-controlled a sort of control-y deck. We could bring in Zealous Conscripts. They do have Planeswalkers. The dream would be to steal their Planeswalker and then ult it, but, you know, I'm not sure that that's actually reasonable necessarily. Yeah, Ancestral Recall definitely got us all the cards we needed to win. We kept a one-lander and we were still fine. Like, that was good. That was good. And I was right to play around the counterspells because opponent had Spell Pierce, they had Miscalc. Pretty sure they had one other one too. Okay. We've got some stuff. I think this hand is fine. It's nothing crazy powerful, but I don't really think we need to mulligan a hand like this. We can just play like a control deck. Okay, opponent starts Savai Triome. We draw Narset, play a Mountain. Okay. Opponent shocks their Steam Vents and plays a Baleful Strix. I don't think I need to bolt that. I mean, it's kind of... It will get in the way of Vendilion Click, but... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bolt it. It's just easier to leave up Miscalc when they have nothing on board. We could Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall if they tap out again for something we don't care about. Alright. They're not doing anything. I'm not going to do anything. Play a Swamp. Pass the turn. I would like a second blue mana so I can maybe protect Mystical Tutor / Ancestral Recall with Miscalculation. Opponent plays a Forest. Alright. They're going to cast a Life from the Loam. You got it. So I could Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall here. If they have Miscalc, I can just pay for it. I think that works. If they have Counterspell or Mana Leak, this is not as good. Sweet. And I can even cast Night's Whisper. We've drawn so many cards. This is so good. Alright. We have a Miscalc for our opponent's turn, and we will soon have Vendilion Click and Miscalc. Opponent plays an island. They are going to loam back an island. It looks like they dredged. So they're Grixis Control splashing Loam? That's interesting. We draw Chart a Course. So play an island, pass the turn, stop on my opponent's draw step. They dredged again. They milled Karn, Liberated, Bribery, and Swamp. Okay, we get to click them. Time Warp, Gilded Drake, Mana Crypt, and Dark Depths. So they're looking for something they can Dark Depths. Yeah, we're not going to put any of these back. We're going to keep moving on with Perfect Information this turn. So if opponent plays Mana Crypt and then plays Time Warp, I cannot Miscalc Time Warp. If they play Gilded Drake, that's fine, I think. They're going to loam back a Swamp. Sure. They play a Swamp, and they are passing. So we untap, we draw Sedgemoor Witch, we play an island, go to combat, attack for 3, then play Sedgemoor Witch, and play Chart a Course. Make a token, draw some cards, play Mox Ruby, and pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They dredge Loam again. They milled Vampire Hexmage, which they're playing because of Dark Depths. And opponent scoops. Alright, this was the least stormy storm deck that has ever stormed. Or not. I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright. Any hand with Ancestral Recall is probably worth looking at, especially with a Mox in it too. We're going to keep. So we are going to start with an island, then play a Mox Jet, then Ancestral Recall, then pass the turn. The good old play 2 lands and draw to 7 opening hand. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Alright, opponent is playing a Ragavan deck. We draw Spell Pierce. So I think I'm going to play Sedgemoor Witch. And if they don't kill it, would I block a Ragavan? I think no for a turn. I probably should have played this island because I am holding High Tide. Yeah, I'm going to take 1 hit. It's only bad if they have like Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, or Incinerate. Night's Whisper off the top is pretty good for them to cast, I think. Especially if they're missing a land drop. Yeah, I think they were trying desperately to hit a land. They did find one. And they have a Noble. Alright. We draw Savai Triome. That is red mana, so I'm going to play it. I'm going to play Wishclaw Talisman. And I think I'm going to race at the moment. I have a Spell Pierce. Which, if they cast anything pre-combat, I will Spell Pierce it. Okay. Opponent goes to combat, they attack with Exalted. They hit us and exile Lightning Bolt. So they may try to Lightning Bolt Sedgemoor Witch. If they do, they have to pay 3 life, and then we would Spell Pierce, so it would be like they Lightning Bolted their own face. Well, float blue. I should have played out that other island. Okay, opponent plays an Elvish Reclaimer. They play a Sylvan Caryatid. And then they pass. And now they bolt. Alright, so we're losing Sedgemoor Witch. Draw Mox Ruby. So play an island, play a Mox, and let's go ahead and incinerate Ragavan. Pass the turn. Yeah, I don't think we Wishclaw Talisman this turn. I think, given the events of this game, I've probably sequenced incorrectly. Definitely with not playing the other blue mana. Opponent has a Soul Ring. I can't do anything about that. That's good. Soul Ring's a good card. They play an island. So this is probably like an upheaval deck. We do have to be careful about Strip Mine. Thragtusk. Alright, he's Thrag, he's Tusky, he's Thragtusk. And they attack us for 2. Mystical Tutor. I cannot draw anything off of Mystical Tutor right now. I may want a tutor for like a Cabal Ritual. We need 1 more mana to actually cast Thousand Year Storm, so like maybe we need Seething Song. Actually, what we probably need is Yawgmoth's Will. We need an island and we need Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, opponent's going to attack us for 6. They play a Birds. They play a Waterlogged Grove. Mystical Tutor. So I can Cabal Ritual with Threshold next turn, which would let me resolve Thousand Year Storm. So I can turn 2 into 5, then tap red and blue and play Thousand Year Storm, but then I just die, probably. I can take Seething Song, that lets me turn 3 into 5, then I only have 1 mana left over. I think it's Cabal Ritual. But I'm going to have to Yawg Will to win. So we get 5 mana. I can play Thousand Year Storm, and then I can activate Wishclaw Talisman. Should probably do this first, actually. I could Yawg Will first, but then I can't play my spells. Maybe that works, actually. Now let's get Yawgmoth's Will and cast it. Because I think that lets me play the island out of the grave. It does. Okay. So then I can High Tide as a free storm count, because it's mana neutral. Which I should have technically cast it before before Yawg Will, but I don't think it matters here. Oh, it does. It does matter. Because now I don't have Threshold. Yeah, I made a mistake. Well, I guess I have to play Sedgemoor Witch and then cast a couple of spells to try and clear up the board. Now that I've locked myself into this bad situation here. So, Ancestral Recall, make a pest. The problem is I have no way to use Thousand Year Storm to actually win now. Because Yogg-Will is my only way to cast stuff out of the grave, and both my burn spells are in the grave. And my Ancestral Recall is in the grave, so I can't even make my opponent draw their whole deck. Which means Thousand Year Storm is going to be worthless. But I can Bolt Thragtusk. Yeah, so we're going to Bolt Thragtusk, make another pest. Yeah, I needed to cast Cabal Ritual immediately after Yogg-Will again, so I'd have enough mana to Thousand Year Storm into a burn spell. But I did not do that. And I did not do that because math is hard, and counting to a number that is 7 other than 1 to 7 is very difficult. Okay, so opponent Elvish Reclaimers, getting Urza's Saga. Saga ticking up to 2. They can now get any card in their deck, though. They can just Wishclaw Talisman for whatever they don't have. Okay, opponent plays a land. Yeah, I think I had this game and spectacularly threw it away. Gonna block here. They can sack Waterlogged Grove as a surprise growth for Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, we take 3 and go to 4, then gain 1 and go back up to 5. I mean, like, my only hope is that I can somehow play a whole bunch of spells and turn about their creatures. The question is, are they going to Wishclaw this turn? Because if they do, we can go get whatever our best spell is in the deck. They are not going to activate Wishclaw. Okay. We draw Chart a Course. So, play a mountain. I can cast Thousand Year Storm. Does it do anything? I'm dead without making another blocker. So I think I actually have to Chart a Course this turn. Make a pest. Draw 2. Discard Spell Pierce. Play Baral. And I guess play Birgi. Yeah, we'll play Birgi. Maybe I'm supposed to try and play the Horn, but... Okay, so Saga's doing a thing. But I think Chart a Course, Night's Whisper, Ancestral Recall are all the draw spells I have. I'm trying to think if I can cobble together a win out of anything else. Opponent gets a Retrofitter Foundry. Okay, they are going to Wishclaw Talisman. We did not get Underworld Breach either. I distinctly remember that. Okay, I mean, like, opponent could just cast a Crater Hoof and we'd be dead. 9 mana. They animate an island, 10 mana. Emrakul, the Promised End. Okay, I'm gonna concede, I don't want them to see my deck. But we weren't drawing anything for a while. Okay. Let's do that again, but with a little less suck. Yeah, I guess we run it back. They already know we have 3 pieces of Power 9 in this deck, so our deck is good. But they did not see Thousand Year Storm. We would like to play first. Okay. I can work with this. So this will be a Mystical Tutor for Ancestral, of course. And then we can Sedgemoor Witch. We'll have Miscalc most of the time. One thing is, though, this card actually strikes me as being way better than I thought it was. Okay. So we start on Island, we play Moxjet, and now we have Miscalc or Mystical Tutor for Ancestral. And if we draw another Island, we could Miscalc after casting Ancestral. I would Miscalc a Ragavan. Yeah, nice try. Okay, we untap. We draw Memory Deluge. So play Sedgemoor. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Soul Ring. That's pretty good. And a Temple Garden tapped, we draw an island. Play an island, go to combat. Attack for 3. I think I'm going to click here. I can always Mystical Tutor for Ancestral on my upkeep. They have Uro and Dimir Signet. You can keep Uro and Dimir Signet. So they can play an island, play Uro, and play Signet. So they gain 3 life. They put an Underground Sea into play, which is what they drew. We untap. Mystical Tutor, make a pest. We get Ancestral. We draw Ancestral. Then we cast it because we know it's safe to do so. And then we play a land. We get in for 6. We can, like, turnabout an Uro to prevent him from attacking. That is, if our opponent ever gets enough cards into the grave. So they cycle Waterlogged Grove. Opponent is tapping mana. They've not played any lands yet. We know they're holding a forest and an island. They're going to K-Command Killing Witch, picking up Uro, but they have to pay 3 life to do it. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't stop them from doing that. Then they play Uro. They gain 3 life. They put Taiga into play and sack Uro. Then they play a forest. Then they play Renin 6. So Renin 6 can kill Vendilion Click, which is really unfortunate for us. Last card in our opponent's hand is an island. We untap. We draw Chart a Course. So go to combat. Kill Renin 6 with our 2 pests. Cast Chart a Course. We draw Savai Triome and an island. Play an island so we can Memory Deluge. Opponent draws a card. Uro requires 5 cards in the grave, which might be happening this turn. They're casting something really big. Emrakul, the Promised End. Memory Deluge. We'll get Volcanic Island and a Swamp. Okay. Opponent can't really do a lot of damage unless we top deck something crazy good like Yogg-Will, which I'm really hoping we don't top deck Yogg-Will. Seething Song, okay. Well, opponent can cast a couple of spells, and they could Memory Deluge, and then just decide to pick nothing. Or pick our 2 worst cards. Okay, so they play Seething Song. They can play Turnabout, and then decide to not do anything else with it. And then, just not play a land, I guess. Okay, they're going to Turnabout us. They are going to untap our lands. So they're probably casting Memory Deluge, then. Yeah. So they could pick up a Lightning Bolt and an Incinerate, and then just kill both of our pests. If they want to play a Volcanic this turn. If we can top deck Snapcaster, or we can top deck Yogg-Will, we might be in business. They take Lightning Bolt and Incinerate. They play Volcanic, which is nice, because they're actually playing a land for us. They bolt our face. Okay. And they Incinerate our face. So we're 1 damage away from dying to Emrakul. And then we get an extra turn. And as long as we get... if we can get Yogg-Will, we can get somewhere. Wishclaw Talisman is Yawgmoth's Will. So, play a Swamp. Play Wishclaw Talisman. Yep, get Yogg-Will. Oh, the problem is... I should have waited a turn. If I cast Yawgmoth's Will, I don't have any rituals. I only have Turnabout. Yeah, I should have waited. Okay. Pass the turn. We'll take 13 damage. I think opponent's got a burn spell. Yeah, that was... Oh my gosh, I've just thrown this match. What is wrong with me today? Okay, nothing I can do. I'm at 2. Opponent, in theory, has a burn spell. Or something they can use to do 2 direct damage. K-Command is in the grave, at least, so it's not K-Command. Battle Display to destroy Wishclaw. Okay. That's not a burn spell to kill us. Hydroid Krasis. Okay. So on our opponent's end step, let's cycle Savai Triome. We get a Yogg-Will. We draw High Tide. I think we just won. So we play an island. High Tide, Yogwill, High Tide. Then we have a bit of mana here. Turnabout ourself. Say land, untap. Play Wishclaw Talisman. Tutor with Wishclaw Talisman. Get Thousand Year Storm. Play Thousand Year Storm. 4 instants and sorceries cast this turn. Seething Song. Whole bunch of copies. Lightning Bolt you. Thank you for putting all those copies in our grave. Thanks. I could have stormed up to where I could Ancestral Recall them. And that would have been more fun. But I wanted to make sure we could actually win there. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't just completely throw the game twice. Luckily, our opponent did not have a burn spell to kill us in their entire deck. Because K-Command was in the grave. That was their only way to deal direct damage. We need blue mana. This is not gonna do. This, on the other hand, is actually looking pretty good. Do I put back Chart a Course or Narset? I think I put back Chart a Course. Okay, opponent starts with a very good start off of Soul Ring there. Ponder. Top, top, top. No shuffle. Draw Ancestral. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Selesnya Signet. Strip Mine. Strip Mine's bad. It's not game over, though. Play an island. Pass to our opponent's upkeep. And Ancestral Recall. Okay, Mox Ruby. Opponent plays a Temple Garden tapped. We untap. We draw Mox Jet. Oh boy. Okay, island. Whenever you cast a spell, add red. So we'll play Mox Ruby and we'll play Birgi, but we're not going to play Mox Jet yet. We're going to use it as a ramp spell. Provided, of course, Birgi survives. Opponent plays an Elvish Reclaimer in a forest. We untap. We draw Spell Pierce. So cast Mox Jet. Add red. Then High Tide is mana positive. Yes. We can... Actually, do we just play Narset? I think we just play Narset. Okay. Downtick Narset. Complete Whiff. Okay. Pass the turn. I could have cast High Tide and then cast Thousand Year Storm, which is maybe what I should have done because I'm holding Yogwill. If they attack with Reclaimer, I'm pretty sure I block. Because I don't think they can get 2 lands into the grave at instant speed. Especially when they're only holding 2 cards. They can put 1 in the grave. So if they play a fetch land... Okay, they play a Taiga. What do they have? 5 mana for a Glorybringer. That will kill Birgi. And it will kill Narset, which is pretty bad. Okay, yep. Okay, that's pretty bad. We untap. We draw Bolt. I don't think Bolt is helpful. I can kill Reclaimer. I don't think that does anything. I'm just going to pass. Hold up Spell Pierce. Well, actually, maybe I should kill Reclaimer because it's going to become a clock. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Opponent gets a land. Urza's Saga, which will immediately be able to make tokens. They play Volcanic and pass. We untap. We draw Swamp. I really wish that was an island so we could get down Thousand Year Storm. If I High Tide, Turnabout, I can High Tide, Turnabout, Thousand Year Storm this turn. And then I have Yogwill maybe doing stuff next turn. I need to top deck a land for it to really be good. Let's see, we're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. Can I afford to wait a turn? If I Yogwill, I won't have enough mana to Turnabout out of the grave. Yeah, I need to wait a turn. Man, that Strip Mine really mattered. Really, really mattered. Okay, so opponent makes a couple of Construct tokens off of Urza's Saga. If they somehow make lethal creatures here, I could turn about their creatures down, but that doesn't really help. They've got a Retrofitter Foundry. They're make dudes. So they will have lethal next turn. Okay, we get Snapcaster. So I can Snapcaster Recall. One blocker does not do it because of Glorybringer. So I need to Turnabout. If I Snapcaster Recall, or if I High Tide, I can Snapcaster Recall. I have 2 mana left over. No, I gotta Turnabout their creatures to try and stay alive. Which I think just means I'm dead. Opponent exchanges for a Thopter. They untap, they draw a card. I guess if I draw Cabal Ritual exactly, that might do something. Land, tap. Oh! Yep, okay. Brain. Brain, can't brain. Alright. I should have won game 1 of that match. We should have won that match. I made a very, very silly mistake. Playing that land before I cast that Cabal Ritual. We should have won. I have no idea, but it was like I was destined to throw against that opponent. So, I'll see you guys in round 3. Alrighty. I will be keeping this hand. Any hand that could just, like, Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall is pretty decent. Man, I really know how to grasp defeat from the jaws of victory. Play an island, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain and a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Alright. So we are going to put Ancestral Recall on top of our deck. Ancestral Recall ourselves. Then play a Mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent hits us for 1. Cracks Windswept Teeth for Breeding Pool. And plays a Llanowar Elves. And a Grim Lavamancer. We draw Cabal Ritual. I don't know if I want to run out effectively a Naked Sedgemoor Witch. If I wait a turn, I can play her and have Spell Pierce to protect her, though Grim Lavamancer can kill her pretty easily. I think I play a Swamp and play Birgi. Opponent plays an island, 4 mana for Jace, the Mind Sculptor. They put a land into the grave, and they unsummon Birgi. They attack us for 2, we go down to 17. We draw an island. So, play an island. Narset would be pretty hilarious here, but because then they couldn't brainstorm with Jace. I'm going to play Sedgemoor Witch instead of Birgi here. Okay. Opponent does activate Lavamancer to kill Sedgemoor Witch. That's fine. They brainstorm. They play a Mox Jet and Surveil, putting Thirst for Discovery into the grave. They play a Boros Signet and Surveil again. And they play Direfleet Daredevil, exiling my Ancestral Recall? Oh, that's a nightmare. Oh, if only I'd played Narset. They couldn't do this. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any type. At least I can Spell Pierce it so that they can't draw that many cards. But, yeah, that's pretty brutal. They do get to Surveil still. They put another land into the grave. They hit us for 1. We untap and draw an island. So, play an island. Recast Birgi. They can unsummon her with Jace again, if they just want to play like a tempo game. We're not blocking with her. Ouch. So, Chandra gonna kill Birgi. They surveil a Mox Ruby into the grave. They kill Birgi. They brainstorm with Jace. They play a tap land and attack us for 5. We go to 11. We untap and draw Seething Song. Play Narset. Downtick Narset. High Tide Mox Ruby. I think I'm going to concede at this point. Should I concede? Actually, no. We'll pick up High Tide. Play a Mountain. I think if I draw... If I'd had Ancestral Recall, Yogg-Will would have done it. The problem is if I Yogg-Will and like Mystical Tutor, I can't get anything off the top of my deck. Please brainstorm without paying attention. Just activate Jace before you do anything else. Okay, I am actually dead. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus. So, alright. Well, at least I didn't scoop early. And we're going to run it back. I would like to play first. We have Spell Pierce, we have Brawl, we have Chart a Course. I actually think this hand's pretty decent. It's no Ancestral Recall Mox hand, but we can Spell Pierce an early play. Okay, we draw a Swamp. I'm going to go ahead and play Brawl. Opponent plays a Boros Signet and gets to Surveil. Unfortunately, we do not get to Spell Pierce the Boros Signet. Then opponent passes. We draw a Lightning Bolt. I'm going to play the Savai Triome and just pass. I would like to attack and Chart a Course, but I don't want to give up Spell Pierce here because my opponent could play a Jace or a Chandra, both of which would be pretty bad for me. Goblin Rabbleman. And a tap land. Okay. Well, we can block the token and bolt the Rabblemaster. So that's not a problem. We draw Sedgemoor Witch. So play a Swamp. Bolt the Rabblemaster. Then pass. If I'm going to play Sedgemoor Witch, I want Spell Pierce alongside it. This is the problem with not having island duels, by the way. I'm going to play Eidolon of the Great Revel, which is annoying but not game-ending. I mean, it's pretty bad, but... We draw an island, so... Play Sedgemoor Witch. Take damage. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Muldrifter, Hardcast. Okay. That is a thing. They play a mountain. And they pass. We untap and draw Turnabout. So we have High Tide, Turnabout, and Baral. Let's Chart a Course. Take some damage, I guess. Make a Pest. I'm gonna ditch this island and Knight's Whisper, but that is painful. Okay, we play an island, and then we pass. Opponent untaps, they draw. They Expressive Iteration, they take some damage. They get to Surveil. They leave it on top. Tamiyo. Okay, I will Spell Pierce Tamiyo. If my opponent attempts to cast Tamiyo. Which is what it looks like they are doing. Let them Surveil. Spell Pierce. We make a Pest, we take some damage. Dragon's Rage Channeler is going to become a 3/3 because there's a Planeswalker in the grave. We get to loot off of Baral. We draw Volcanic Island, which is just a strictly better mountain. They attack us for 5 in the air. So we go to 5. Then we untap. And we draw an island. So, go to combat. Swing with the team. Opponent takes a bit of damage. On their beginning of combat, we're going to tap their creatures with Turnabout. So if this is like a Hell Rider, we should still survive. We make a pest. We say creature tap. Opponent plays Huntmaster. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on board. They're at 7. They're about to gain 2 life and have 2 blockers. So they have 9. They can block either 2 1/1s or they can block Sedgemoor Witch, which would be slightly more profitable for them to block. If they block Sedgemoor Witch, that would prevent 3 damage instead of 2. So if I cast High Tide, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. If I draw exactly Incinerate, they die. Okay, High Tide. Make a pest. Take damage. Huntmaster resolves. They go to 9. We untap. We draw Moxjet, which does not do it. So close. But unfortunately, too far. We were definitely dead on the swing back because of Hell Rider. So it's not like we could have counted on the pest to save us. That's super disappointing. This deck was so good. Oh, at least we got to storm off in one match, but yeah. I threw the second match. We definitely should have gone 2-1 here. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I usually stream about once a week, but who knows by the time this video comes out if that's changed or not. I have a link to my Discord and a link to my Patreon in the description down below if you guys want to support my videos. Discord's the best way to contact me, and you're all wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!